This week, we were joined by Isha and Scott from the Sota Pod, and after we discussed beer, we talked about the potential of an all-Canadian division for the upcoming season.
I'm going to start by saying this already, and I know that this is not going to be a popular opinion, and I'm not going to be defended by anybody on here, but I'm actually opposed to the all-Canadian division. I think logistically, I know from a fan perspective, everyone would love it. There's a lot of fun in it. But Isha made the point already that Vancouver is going to have to travel a hell of a lot. That's one huge problem. If you're playing in Ottawa and Toronto, there's some OHL, there's some Ontario rules that are going to have to be dealt with here about whether you can actually play hockey appropriately. And that may land in the NHL. I'm not, don't put past the Ontario government to say you're not, hang on, let me finish. And the other thing that nobody's talked about yet is how are trades going to be made?
Quarantine.
Quarantine. Not that hard.
But in terms of the Ontario bullshit,
Thank you.
It is bullshit.
They're talking about kids playing junior hockey as opposed to adults making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. They will make it. They played in Toronto in a bubble there. They'll make it happen.
And it was still a hot spot.
And Kevin, the bigger thing for me, this is not a fan thing. I don't think most Canadians want an all-Canadian division.
Fuck
this
no.
is flat out the border.
Yeah, this is
You
Trudeau,
cannot
baby.
cross US to Canada. The only reason there is discussion of a Canadian bubble is because of the border. That's it.
And just before Devin can get in there, because I think this
is for him, yeah.
Because fuck Kevin.
Kevin's never gonna invite us back on the podcast.
Before Devin can go off on his whole thing, in Calgary, they're actually testing out or a pilot project of rapid testing of COVID for in Calgary International, as well as tracking for the next week after. So if
within minimized quarantine.
Yeah, they're to minimize quarantine. If that happens, then we don't necessarily have to have the Canadian division. But the only reason the Canadian division is in there is because the border. Like if the border can't be fixed, the Canadian division is happening until the border is fixed.
Go ahead, Devin.
Thanks, Kevin. That's so nice of you. God. Well, okay, I'm gonna be positive. Let's be fucking positive for once.
All
Good
right.
Lord. Enough of this negativity bullshit. All right. I love the idea of a Canadian division. It's been knocked around for years about potentially having that to be actually legitimate, not in a COVID year or any type of pandemic way. And I love the idea of it. You know what? In amidst all this fucking chaos that we live in, I think it's a fantastic idea. Yes, it's unfortunate. Yes, it's not ideal. And yes, Vancouver, once again, oh no, poor Vancouver. You have to fucking fly everywhere. Who gives a shit? Like the thing is that like what it's going to be a condensed schedule. They won't have as many games, but you're going to be flying to a place and playing 3 games, like 2 to 3 games within 3 to 4 days. So I don't see it as big of an issue as some Canucks fans on fucking here. And I love the idea of it. I really do. Thinking about, I think Ottawa, you know, people are shitting on Ottawa. I think that they have a legit team. Matt Murray, backstopping them. I truly believe that they, with DJ Smith as their head coach, they'll work their ass off. They'll be able to be a not a contender, but they'll surprise you. They will surprise you, and especially with you know, you have Thomas Chabot on the end there, and one of my new favorite players since he came in the league, Brady Tkachuk. I love the Tkachuks. And I love the idea of the camaraderie, and think about the TV as well. How many views that's going to freaking get. It's going to be ridiculous, and I love it. So I don't agree with Kevin in thinking that it'll be potentially brought up from, or that the government of Ontario is going to step in and make it so that it's mandatory, so that the NHL people cannot players can't hit or anything like that. That's not going to be the case at all. So I appreciate everybody shutting up and letting me talk. Thank you very much.
You're the man, Devin.
Dream.
I just want to say that's an Isha level of confidence on the Ottawa Senators there.
Shit, dude. Like, I'm sorry, Jay Fresh, as Isha already referenced, like, Detroit actually got marginally better. Ottawa actually got worse this offseason, which they don't care because they're looking at the long term. But, like, they did not get any better this offseason except for maybe the addition of Matt Murray, which I love Matt Murray to death.
Show him the bobblehead.
Wild card. Huge wild card.
Dadonov was a good signing for Ottawa, and
That was the one.
And I'm really glad that Devin knows that the B in B Kachuk stands for better, and he likes the better Kachuk.
Oh,
That's not what I said at all. You're putting words in my mouth, you son of a bitch.
Well, also, Devin, so talking from the Toronto perspective, like, of course you fucking love the Canadian bubble. You're getting away from Boston and Tampa. You're thrilled.
Yes. That's one of the things.
Zero bias in this argument saying that the Canadian.
Yeah, there's been no bias in this entire podcast. I just want to say, everybody.
Yeah, zero bias.
None whatsoever.
That's a good name for this episode. Zero bias.
Zero bias.
I will say the one thing Devin did bring up that I completely agree with and I see happening is the cutting down on travel as much as possible.
Yeah.
And we will see Toronto fly out, play 2 games in Vancouver, which would be amazing because
Wow, 2 whole games?
A Thursday, Saturday, or even a back-to-back Friday, Saturday, Vancouver, Toronto. The social media and standard media shitstorm that's going to happen with that will be pure entertainment.
Epic.
Twitch Twitter would love Steve Simmons. Like,
Oh, God. See, this is where Hoppy has no reaction because he's like, who?
I don't care about that. I just think it should be 3 games instead of 2 because then you can go into it like a small mini series where every time you can pick a winner of each series.
Yeah.
If you split 1-1, like, what the fuck do you talk about?
yeah, you're gonna have to think about this scheduling wise, gambling wise, in terms of the schedule.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because I think the NHL's like embrace that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually with State of Hoppy on this one. Yeah, let's do 3-game miniseries as like baseball style as opposed to like back-to-backs.
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah. And, Gary Bettman, he's all about making money. He'll jump on that.
I just
Especially now that they've embraced Vegas betting. Yep, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We haven't seen a Vancouver-Toronto series since 1994 when the Canucks won. So,
Greg Adams.
Greg Adams.
Oh, then you also get the bat. You could get the battle, but I mean, there are pros. You could get finally get a Battle of Alberta playoff series as well.
Well, no, it's not even a playoff series. Could you imagine Battle of Alberta best 3-game series in the middle
Best of 3, baby. Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, somebody. Here we go.
Especially if Cassian and Kachuk are going at it.
The amount of suspensions that are going to come out of Alberta this year is going to be insane.
But the real question here, guys, most importantly, is Markstrom going to be enough of a big boy to throw down with Smith when that happens?
Hell yeah, he is.
Talbot's gone. We don't know.
Markstrom
Jacob is in. Yeah, I have full confidence in Markstrom.
Yeah.
He's a fire character. He'd do it. But honestly, right off that topic, as I was trying to get in there, could you imagine if that it was a mini series when that goalie fight happened?
Game 1. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just juicy. It'd been amazing. Come on, we need to see that. I want
Bring on the TV ratings.
I'm glad only one person has said it. It's only Chris so far, but thank you all for endorsing my idea. It makes me feel very good.
Well, actually, when you said it, I'm starting to think even when we're back to normal, this actually there's some merit to your argument.
Well, I think before all this even happened, I think it was one of the Chicago beat writers on The Athletic talked with Jonathan Taves about something similar about trying to make the travel of the NHL and the schedule a little more green and do stuff like that. And I think that's what they're definitely gonna be looking into.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the Taves schedule, look that up. It is something that is out there, and I think it is something that they are going to be looking into because you look at how everyone is trying to become greener and cut
Sustainable
down.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Like you think about it, like how many times is like we'll go to Vancouver because like it's Vancouver and San Jose that have the most ridiculous travel schedules. Throw in Seattle next year. You're going to have to. It's really tough. Like how many times have they gone from like fly out from Vancouver to Boston, then down to Columbus, over to Columbus, and then down to the Florida and all that. And there's definitely going to be ways that they're going to try and make it a little more green. I mean, Seattle's going to actually demand that because apparently you have to bring your own water to the
Climate Change Arena or Climate Pledge Arena.
The Kraken will eat you if you bring your water.
But going back to that 3-game series, like Devin too, for like Montreal and Toronto, like that'll be huge, right? And even I think this would work in the Senators' favor as well to try to rekindle some of those rivalries with Montreal and Toronto respectively as well. So yeah, no, Hoppy, we're all picking up what you're putting down here.
I can see Hockey Night in Canada potentially Sportsnet fighting that a little bit because Montreal, Toronto, they want that. Those games are always going to be on a Saturday.
Well, you know what? We'll get TSN to pump this idea to them in the scheduling, and then maybe TSN will get the rights back anyways, and we can all start breathing again.
Throwing in the Wild too, like that would be a great way to actually kindle up the Winnipeg Minnesota rivalry. That should be something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It already kind of is something. Like if you actually go to a Wild game when Winnipeg's in town, you would be shocked how many people show up. Like it's pretty interesting.
That's good.
It's on par with believe it or not, Toronto and Tampa is the craziest. You get all the fucking snowbirds to go down there. I went to a Tampa Toronto game in Tampa, and it was more than half Toronto fans. This is when Tampa was like actually a decent team.
Wow.
That's it. Same here in Calgary. I went to my first Calgary Flames Toronto Maple Leafs game, and I love both teams equally. And so I the first time, actually, well, it was the second time ever because I went to Rogers Place and was a rival team inside of an arena, and I thought it was awesome. But yeah, I went there, and they're at least, it was super, super close to 50-50 blue sweaters to red sweaters. But boys, it's been lovely. I love you all, and I will see you guys later.
Talk to you soon, Devin.
I just soon,
see you, boys.
Cheers.
Follow him, Gord Now 09. Maybe we should have a replacement. Should we have a line change here?
Yeah,
hold on. But before we do this, we all know who the number one center is. This guy.
Heidi's joined us as
Hello.
hello. Where are we at here? I
listened to this whole thing, by the way.
We're at 2 hours, Kevin. That's where we're at.
Also, the IQ of this group just went up exponentially.
Oh, I mean, I won't disagree.
So, Hoppy, from your perspective, though, I guess from the States, what are you thinking? Like, are you thinking an all Central Division would be fun? What are you like in terms of that? And what? I guess the other big question in all of this is, when does this season actually start?
That's the real question everyone's asking, man. Like, as of now, best case scenario is January 1st, which, like, let's be real, that's optimistic. But I'll shout out a friend of our podcast, Brett Marshall, who's done a ton of stuff analytically out there. If you want to check out his stuff, it's at B_Marsh92. If you want to look at the WAR plus GSVA composite for your team and see how the lineup slots in with any trades you might want to make for yourself, whatever. But he's the one that actually came up with divisions. Again, there's going to be a Canadian division under what we assume right now. And then there was a Great Lakes division that was pretty interesting. You get pretty much all the teams right around the Great Lakes. You get Pittsburgh and Philly, you get Columbus, you get Minnesota, Chicago. And like, it makes sense geographically. I don't know. It honestly ends up being a pretty soft division by and large, but I don't mind that being here for the Wild and the Penguins. So, hey, I'm on board. And I mean, Great Lakes, it sounds pretty cool, but
and if we're doing one-off season divisions, let's go all out.
Exactly. Hey, but I don't know. It's hard to say what to expect for next year. All I can say is I actually randomly at the grocery store recognized Bill Guerin in a mask, and he's very gung-ho about getting asses in seats. Like, it's not going to be full capacity by any means, but he seems pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to find a way to get fans in the building. Maybe not right away, but it's not going to be in that tall of order. It's going to happen at some point this year.